individuals who have a desire to create. Today, I'm joined by a musical theatre performer who is currently gracing the Theatre Royal stage in Sydney as Persephone in Hadestown. Welcome to Pario magazine, Elenoa Rokobaro.
Yes, smashed it. Thank you so much for having me, Jamie.
My pleasure. We're here today to chat about your theatre journey and the role in Hadestown. Before we dive into that, though, do you want to give our audience a little intro as to who Elenoa is away from the stage?
Yeah, sure. So who am I away from the stage? Who is Elenoa? Honestly, I have come from the western suburbs of Sydney. I grew up basically singing in church, and then was basically discovered at my performing arts high school by an amazing agent my first agent at the time, that I could sing, dance, and act. And I've discovered this world of musical theatre. So outside of musical theatre, I am just like any other hardworking 35-year-old. Loves the theatre, of course, and it's a bonus that I'm working in it. But yeah, I'm just quite simple, really, quite simple.
Yep. Was musical theatre always like a passion and something you wanted to pursue, or were you more going down the traditional singer path?
Great question. So, musical theatre wasn't my passion at all. I discovered it at the age of 16, as I said before. But from a very young age, I was actually playing sport and played basketball competitively. So I was actually meant to play basketball. At the age of 16, was at a crossroads whether to explore musical theatre and entertainment, the entertainment industry, or to play sport and study over in America and go to college. So I guess you could say I've fallen in love with musical theatre. It hasn't been my first love.
Okay. But the first big role came at the age of 16, like you mentioned, when you were cast in Respect, the musical. How did
Yes.
that come about, and how did you feel when that all sort of started to develop?
You know what? It's a beautiful thing that a lot of my siblings tell me, like, and encourage me. Like, when you were young, you're so naive and, wide eyed to life that you just take it and you're not really, you're not thinking too hard into the massive opportunities. You're literally just going fearless. So it's only now I look back and I look back and find myself thinking like, I can't believe I did that at 16. I basically grew up in the industry. So back then I had no idea how big that opportunity was, let alone my career has spanned out to be.
And on that note, you've gone on to star in a raft of acclaimed shows such as Rent, Tick Tick Boom, Book of Mormon. It's a long list. Legally Blonde, Hairspray, Fame, High School Musical, Great Gatsby, and along the way won Best Female Actor at the Sydney Theatre Awards. How have
Yeah.
those experiences all sort of prepared you for the role of Persephone in Hadestown?
Oh my gosh. The most recent show was playing Lady Day at Emerson's Bar and Grill. I was Zara Newman's and Mitchell Butel, who directed the show. I was her alternate. So I had two shows on every week for over a 4 months period. So that was last year. And I'm telling you, every opportunity, like all the greats say, every opportunity leads to the one that you're in right now. All the techniques, all the tools have really um, honestly helped me with this particular role. Playing Persephone in this incredible show is quite physically demanding. And yeah, I feel like I've been prepared to, I'm thankful for all of those opportunities that have prepared me physically, mentally, creatively. Um, they have obviously all helped me. So, and I feel like people see that when they come and watch our show, they see um, that experience, I guess you could say.
I guess that sort of even goes back to your sport background as well and athletics. Like musical theatre is a very physically demanding art form.
Yes, yes, it's a different type of physicality, right? Yes, we're athletes in the sense that we train just like an athlete would, but you also have to when it comes to the acting side of what we do, as beautiful as it is, um, it's such a vulnerable muscle because it's fun to play characters on stage and try to not be yourself on stage, but you can't help but add little bits of elements of yourself to each role that you're blessed to be a part of. And this particular role, and paired with where I am in my life and what I've experienced with relationships as well as creatively, it's like I didn't know that I needed a show like Hadestown. So I'm very
Mhm.
thankful.
That's like an interesting point of sometimes you need the show just as much as the show needs you.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Creatively, I feel like this is therapy for me. And I think that's why this show has won incredible, awards. Obviously, a very small award, like a Tony. Um,
Just
no,
there's
I'm
age
joking.
of those as
Just
well.
a really tiny, no, I'm joking. But it really speaks to the human heart. Um, and it's not your typical musical theatre show. That's that's one of the best things about this show. It's that it's actually not your typical musical theatre show. This is a show for musicians, for lovers of music, history, and storytelling. Um, so yeah, you see a little bit of yourself in each of the characters.
Yep. And yeah, like you said, it's won 8 Tony Awards since it opened on Broadway in 2019. Did that sort of create any pressure for you and this new Australian cast?
Of course, Jamie. Are you kidding me? Yes. I mean, the massive boots that we all have to feel. Um, but we've been guided so well in the sense of like making it our own. And that's just how I work as well. For me, I always come from a creative aspect or perspective of respecting the role and respecting the show and what this show stands for, and adding a little bit of my flair to it within the realm of the show. So yeah, definitely. I still feel like I don't measure up, but I think that's I think that's what audiences can relate to, but also can feel that for someone like me, it's just a human role and a human like real time. In real time, I feel like I'm experiencing aspects of what Persephone goes through throughout the show.
So then for our audience who may be unfamiliar with the show, do you want to describe it for them?
Yeah, so if you haven't seen the show, you're crazy. But also that's fine. We're here for a good chunk of time. So the show tells, and well, not tells, but shows the journey of new love and old love, told through the lens of, a little bit of Greek mythology, but a real love stories. It is narrated by the beautiful Christina New, who plays our Hermes. But these two separate couples are all consensual love, and all the complications of love from the new the new love stages to um, Persephone and Hades, of time and what time does to a relationship. Sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. So you follow that journey of these two beautiful couples. And then to add to the incredible storytelling, you have the incredible fates, um, and then our awesome workers. Like we only have like 5 ensemble members that make up of our incredible show. It's actually a very small show, but you would never know that coming, watching, and experiencing our show. It's so full, but in a roundabout way, that's what the show's about.
I imagine that sort of created a really tight knit group of people and like a friendship and family bond between all of you as well.
Honestly, I wouldn't say necessarily family, but just a genuine respect for each other. You know, you got to keep it real. Like families fight. We are not here to fight. It is our
Mhm.
job that we love, and this is our passion. So, actually, today we've had debuts. Actually, last night we've had our covers on for Hades, and who is Devon, and Josh Kovac, who is new to the industry, and he's a swing who also covers 2 leading roles. So yeah, it is an incredible show, an incredible piece. But yeah, we are all quite respectful of the piece, but also each other.
Brilliant. And what is it about this show that you feel will resonate with Australian audiences at this time?
Good question. What what about the show resonates? Will resonate with the Australian audiences? Honestly, that we are so different. We are such a different show in general because it's not a typical musical theatre show, but also how incredible our Australian cast is. Like everyone knows this particular piece. It's been around since 2019. And sometimes when you're doing big machine shows like this, you have fans that expect, just to hear um, who they think who they think the show should sound like.
Mhm.
But what resonates and what we've been receiving is how authentic, and some of our accents are Australian, and they see themselves in the show. So I hope that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, that's perfect. And before we close out the conversation, at the time of our interview, you're roughly a week into the season. How has the response been so far?
Overwhelming. The response has been so overwhelming. I still haven't gotten back to a lot of the fans and even my family and friends and peers in the industry. It's been so overwhelmingly kind, uh, and super supportive. They know, I think the fans know the show better than I do. So there's a lot of pressure with that as well. But yeah, I'm just definitely counting my lucky stars at the moment. It's been an incredible journey.
And so the show will run in Sydney until the 26th of April before you then make your way down to Her Majesty's Theatre in Melbourne from May 8th through to July 6th.
hmm
What would you say to people who are sort of still on the fence and haven't decided on whether they should come along or not?
Oh, what would I say to people that who haven't seen the show? Take a chance. Take a chance and bring anyone and everyone, because honestly, it's such a beautiful breath of fresh air. Our show, and you won't be disappointed at all. Bring tissues as well.
It's a good tip. Very good tip.
Thanks.
Uh, and as we look beyond Hadestown, like we've mentioned, you've starred in a litany of shows. Is there a dream show or role that you still have yet to tick off the list?
Oh, good question. No one's ever asked me that. Is there a dream show that I want to tick off? To be honest with you, Jamie, I've never really had a dream show. I feel like this is so corny to say, but I think there's a show still being written for someone like me. And um, I think I'm preparing. I think Queen Persephone is preparing me for the unknown. So I don't have a particular dream show to want to be in. It's still being written. So when you find out, you let me know.
I will do my best.
Thanks.
All right. So finally, where is the best place for people to support you and track your creative journey moving forward?
Yeah, sure. You can follow my journey on just Facebook or Instagram. I'm honestly so bad at it. I'm not the best at it, but yeah, just social media. Keep up to date with that. I think that's what the young kids do. So
Yep.
yeah,
And yeah, jump onto the Hadestown website and get your
website.
tickets to come along to the show.
Yes, Hadestown, exactly. Hadestown website or their Instagram, or my Instagram handle, which is L Rocco, at L Rocco.
Perfect. Alrighty. Thank you so much for taking the time and good luck with the rest of the season.
Thank you so much, Jamie. Thanks for having me and setting aside time for me.